break it up. Listen, we don't want no rough stuff, right, yeah? It's a Double D podcast, right, yeah? We're gonna keep it clean, guys, keep it clean. This one's gonna be epic! My name is Heavy D, and this is the Double D podcast. I'm joined today by Dean Whyte, and we've got a revered trainer, former trainer of Derek Chisora and Frank Buglioni, revered trainer Don Charles, and we are at Boxer Punch London Gym in Mill Hill. It's great to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure.
You know, I've been trying to get you on the show for quite a while now.
My pleasure, also my pleasure, Dean. Thanks for having me on. And
I've known you a long while now.
You have, but I've always had a problem. What is that problem?
Let me guess.
What is it?
Let me guess. Let me begin with A and finish with L.
Right. Basically, you've come here to do your job. Fantastic. I'm honoured to be on your show. But I have a problem. That problem, sir, what possessed you when you woke up this morning knowing you're coming to see me to put that garment, this?
I know why as well.
What possessed you? Yeah? But guess what? I anticipated that you would drop such a note. And you know what? You think you're smart. You think you're smart, but I'm smarter. Yeah? I'm smarter. Yeah? I preempted. What does it say on there? What does it say on that?
Spurs.
Thank you very much. Sir. I wanted you to say.
So it's signed by, is it signed by the team then?
Pardon me?
Is it signed by the current team?
Yes, I'm afraid so, yeah. Yeah. Okay, admire it. Yeah.
But mind you, no, be serious, right? Yeah. Do you actually think that Spurs are going to win the trophy in the next 5 years?
I not only think, I believe we're going to win a trophy this season. Yeah.
Really?
Do you want to have a sportsman's bet on it?
I have a sportsman's bet on you. Yeah. I have a sportsman's bet on you that Arsenal finish above Spurs in the league.
Listen, like I said to you, it's a game of football. Anything is possible.
Yeah.
You asked me a question. Will we win a trophy this season?
Yeah.
Yes, I can't.
Not now. We're not talking about the Audi Cup.
No. But it's still a cup. Excuse me. It's still a cup. It starts.
Is it really?
You've got to start. You've got to start somewhere.
I can't believe people they actually celebrating that.
You've got. Excuse me.
Spurs fans are going to be celebrating. We won the Audi Cup.
Damn right.
Yeah.
What did you win last season?
Oh, okay.
Right. And my case, you're right. I'm going to temporarily put this, occasionally, if you don't mind, occasionally it will resurface. Okay. For now,
we'll put that away. What is that? Like a good luck charm?
Whatever you want it to be. It's my crystal ball. It's my crystal ball.
Well, let's get down to nitty gritty. We want to get deep, jumping right at the deep end. I'm sure for the viewers, they watched the press conference yesterday, and I want to, talk to you about a man you know oh so well.
I don't think no one knows him more than you.
Your former pupil, student who you trained from an amateur all the way up to the day obviously you departed and went your different ways. So if you could. What was your thoughts on yesterday's press conference?
Yeah, I was. You know me. I'm always in the kitchen being.
Yeah,
I refer to this my office, my kitchen. I was actually in the kitchen preparing some food. In the sense, I was in this gym, in this ring, training fighters, and my phone kept ringing, which I never take calls when I'm in the kitchen cooking. Yeah. And when I finished, I looked at my phone. So many missed calls, and I thought, wow, what's going on? So I called one of my colleagues and said, have you seen what's happened? I said, what's happened? Yeah. I said, Derek Chisora press conference is kicked off. I said, what's new? Right? And obviously, when I got home yesterday evening, I started flicking through what had happened during the day, the press conference. And look, let's be real here. Is my former fighter whom, like you quite rightly noted, that started his professional boxing career with me. In fact, prior to that, worked with him as an amateur, and then we both grew together to him achieving what he's achieved in boxing. Yeah. Now, so I know him very, very well. Now, let's take all the craziness away from it. Yeah. If you dissect the contents of what he's actually trying to project to say, he's right.
Totally right.
In many ways. There's a timing and a place. The timing, probably not the right place to discuss that type of business. That should have, in my opinion, that should have been done prior, behind closed doors. This is a professional industry, And I don't believe that should have been aired publicly. And I'm sure the promoters were as shocked as anybody because they were kind of startled.
You saw the look on Eddie's face.
Yeah, they were startled. None of them had any answers or any of the demands he was making. But the demands, like I said, I would have preferred for that to have all been discussed behind privately, than to be, random.
Dirty laundry
It's not.
Well, we say that, but don't you think that a bit of controversy sells tickets? It puts bums on seats. Now people are talking about it. It's world news now.
Well, yeah, I'm sure.
So maybe maybe subconsciously.
Yeah, of course. Listen, it has its positives. It also has negatives. Then you've got to evaluate what outweighs what.
Yeah. Well, I think
to any young person coming into the sport, for instance, doesn't understand the industry.
Yeah.
What do you think that projects to them?
That projects to them that you've got to.
That you must confront. You must confront a promoter.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And know your worth.
You got to know your worth. Yeah. Like I said, there are positives in what happened yesterday, and there are also negatives.
What do you think the negatives were?
The negatives were, like I just asked you a question, but you. I asked you a question. A young person who doesn't know the industry, watching that yesterday, what do you think that's going to make them? What would they have learned from that?
They'd have thought that
you must confront a promoter there and not behind closed.
It's not the right way to do it.
Right.
Because obviously you can create enemies.
What my boy, I say my boy because he's still my boy, regardless of me and him not working together. Derek has done many things through his career, crazy things, but he's also done. I've witnessed a lot of it where he's nothing short of a genius in some of the things he had. I've traveled with this man abroad and in situations that we found ourselves in, and he's been able to say things. In some cases, I've cried. Because how can you, even me, I class myself as an intelligent person, I wouldn't have thought fast enough to have come out with what he came out with.
Kind of thinks on his feet.
Do you understand, right? So, on that side, like I said, he got a genius in one hand, then in the other side, not so genius in the other hand.
I think it's a promoter's dream. I mean, it's gone viral. Everyone's talking about it.
I'm sure, but it also has its negative sides to it. It mustn't overlook the negative sides. I look at both sides.
But I think he's so high profile now that he doesn't care. He doesn't
Everybody cares.
Yeah.
Everybody cares.
What you got to think of, I understand you mentioned high profile, but you could be at the pinnacle and it's so high at the top, the cliff top is there and you could fall off just as easily. So I understand what you're saying. There's pitfalls. There was a time and a place, and he's in the bracket of, he was nearly yesteryear's man, and he's had some great wins coming back. And if he loses now to Parker, he could be back in that position where he isn't the forgotten man at the top of the hill that could be just cast away. So it's quite important and very, he's got to be careful how he conducts himself.
Totally agree.
At some points, because there could be
it's a very harsh
things.
It's a very harsh industry. Most industry, entertainment industry, whether it's football, cricket, anything in the entertainment industry, you've got to tread very carefully because your paymasters might be laughing, but you've hurt them. Some of that thing yesterday would have personally. If I was a promoter, some of those things yesterday would have that would have hurt me. And he's my boy. But you see, this is when I say typical Derek. Derek, that's what fuels him. That he knows he's got to go out there now and be Parker. Do you understand me? People, human beings, yourself, myself, this young man sitting here. Although he's got an Arsenal shirt, I don't know what fuels you.
Haye feels me as well.
We all draw energies from something, from somewhere. He knows when he got off from that podium yesterday, he will go back. 'Cause I know him. That's his fuel. He knows, I've got to go out and get this victory.
So some people need that pressure, don't they?
Do you
understand?
100%.
So
he knows. He's out there.
So I mean, Derek has left you and come back numerous times. Do you anticipate him maybe come back? Has he been in contact with you?
Listen, I'm a man says never say never in life, but if you ask me as I sit here, I can say to you 100% categorically, capital No is the answer. Because I won't go into details, okay? I won't go into details, but I'm an elder in my community, the black community. There is still such a thing. When I was growing up, my elders, there is a certain conduct you must have, and you mustn't lose that. Yeah, out of my own self-worth. Like Derek knows what he's worth as a fighter, as a person. That's what he's trying to get across yesterday to the promoters. He knows his worth, which is part of the schooling I gave him, me and the people around him. There's a lot of good people around Derek, behind the scenes. What he's learned from the elders is to understand your worth. He knows his worth. He felt he was being undervalued, undermined. That's what he was trying to get across yesterday. And I'll make him right. Yeah, 1 second. So when it comes to the question you asked me, I also know my worth. The fact that we're not tied indefinite, but there's a way to do things in life, yeah? And the way we parted, I particularly, I'm not bitter. The reason I look the way I look, because I don't, if you're a bitter person, it will reflect in you. My mum used to say it will reflect in your face. Your face will say, I'm not a bitter person. So I'm not bitter, right? But in the way he left, I deserved better than that. Yeah? But I still wish him, I've done various interviews recently. I've always maintained that he's good enough to go and pick up one of the world titles. This guy's been campaigning for, you look how long Derek's been campaigning. Who has he not fought?
He's got
Who has it? And he doesn't get the recognition that he should actually get. I personally, as a coach, don't get the recognition, that I deserve for having done. Nobody gave us a chance initially to go as far as what people who were involved in his earlier on in his career during the amateurs said that he's not even good enough to win the British title. Yeah, he won it in his 12th professional fight. Yeah, he's won the European title. Okay, he's fought for the WBC title against a man who was brutalizing everybody. Yeah, Derek Chisora was the 4th person in that man's career, Vitaly Klitschko's career, not to have got stopped during the period of 12 rounds. We were told, even by his current manager, who was a pundit on the show, you can go back and check it, David Haye said, and Adam Booth, that Derek Chisora, they gave him 2 rounds, he will get knocked out by Vitaly Klitschko. Yeah, and I said to Adam, make sure you tune in and watch the fight. I will show you how to fight a Klitschko. Because David went and fought a Klitschko and they didn't have a clue how to fight a Klitschko. I'll say to you, I was terribly disappointed we didn't win the fight. We went there to win the fight.
No, he put up a great performance, I remember.
Okay, so again, like I said, we've parted. As I sit here, no, there is no coming back, because I know my self-worth, I know my value, and I won't go into more details because it wouldn't be right. You've come here not to talk about purely that, so I respect.
Well, I mean, it's an open discussion, so we can talk about anything.
Yeah, but there's a border.
Yeah.
I've reached the border for that particular subject.
Right, okay.
So let's.
Fair enough. So can I ask you? Because I mean, obviously, a lot of people are thinking this. Do you think that David Haye was the reason, like him coming into the fold, that the reason why you and Derek split?
Well, yeah, it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science,
That wouldn't be rocket science. I can sit here, I'm the one who was involved in it. Hell yeah, because this man, I have got it in for David Haye. I really have. I'm not a hater. I'm not a vindictive person, but I don't know if there's another word. I've got it in for him because I was actually when I say instrumental in, me and Derek had a discussion regarding David Haye getting involved. Yeah, I attacked Derek verbally when he first initially asked me that he was thinking of asking Mr. Haye to be his manager. Yeah?
But they were like enemies, weren't they?
No, they're not enemies. Rivals. Yeah?
Sorry.
So, initially when Derek asked me, what do I think? I dismissed it. Instantaneously dismissed it. Because it was like, I didn't see that one coming. It was illogical in my head. Yeah, absolutely. We have issues with this man. I had issues with him. Derek has issues with him. It's well documented, right? 100%. So it took me less than 60 seconds to conclude that this is where the genius part of it comes, what I said to you about Derek Chisora. In one hand, it does crazy, in the other hand, there's a genius living in there. It took me less than 60 seconds to digest his request that he was thinking of asking, what do I think? I walked away. I came back within less than 60 seconds. I said, you know what, Derek? That's actually a very good idea. If if again, me not being selfish. If I was a selfish man, I would have contested it. I said, no, if you do that, I'm not having anything to do. I didn't take that stance. I saw the angle he was coming with. Yeah, I know what David Haye will bring to the table. So for Derek's sake, I said, you know what? If you ask him and he agrees, it's actually a very, very brilliant idea. And he went and asked David. I believe David didn't say yes straight away. I believe he thought about it, you know. But David, one thing for sure, as much as I said to you, I've got it in for him. Yes, I have. But he's a very smart boxer. If he's one of these guys, if he didn't do boxing, he would have succeeded in anything he would have chosen to have done. He's a very smart dude. Yeah.
He learned the game very well from Adam Booth.
Both, it's the team.
Yeah, of course. But I was obviously going to go into it a little bit more. But I mean, those two together, because obviously in the background, they were
great unit when it was. Trust me, when I first came into the industry, I did my market research like you do, because I hadn't coached anybody, I hadn't owned any gyms. I based my case study was on those two. I said to Derek, you see those two, Adam Booth and David Haye, that's how I want you and me to be. They were tight, they were inseparable, and they went and achieved great things. And my model was based on their model,
Do you know, sorry to cut you there,
no,
why I say Adam Booth, obviously there was a team, so they worked together, so it was well. But the reason why, if you go back and look at George Groves also, went self-managed after leaving Adam Booth, being together, learning the game, and being a student, both sides. They both went on to manage themselves and do great stuff after. So basis of being a team with Adam seems to have set a great structure for those boys, and they've gone on to do great stuff. You know what I mean? But it seemed like, I feel maybe they felt like, well, they've learned enough from him, so they went out, so they didn't need to pay a manager, and they didn't want to pay the potential. So I get it. So what I'm saying is, in that sense that David, he went and learned the game thoroughly. And I remember speaking to Adam about this years ago as well, saying, they done a lot of good stuff, even with the pay-per-view numbers with the Klitschko fight. They made a fortune.
They started with all that, the trend
of how to do it.
How to do it.
Those guys,
they've got the formula.
Exactly.
They really have got the formula. And like I said, I admired them. I based my studies on them. This is how I want to be. This is how I want to appear. This is how I want to be perceived. This is how I want to project myself. And yes,
it wasn't bad.
And Adam Booth, in numerous interviews I've done, I've always said, they always ask me, who's the coach you aspire to be like or work like, or and he will always be my number one. If Adam Booth was American, he would get
more credit. And it's so true, because I always talk about Adam Booth, the same kind of thing, because we used to be there quite a lot as well. Me and Dylan, in the early days when we was coming up, we was there the same. When what's the next Cuban guy? Was a cruiserweight. He's a cruiserweight, heavyweight. He was
Perez.
So we was down there that time before Tony Yoko went professional. As amateur deal, sparring with him, sparring with Perez and David. George was about as well. There's a few boys, but I mean, I always used to sit there, watch, and I always used to talk to Adam a lot, and just take in things and say, oh, why does this do that? Why does so I had extensive conversations.
He's not just a boxing coach.
No, he's brilliant. Listen, come on, man.
He's an intellect. He's a scholar of the sport. Okay, he brings so much diversity into, hence why, like you said, it's not a coincidence that George Groves, anyone who's worked with him would eventually be able to be independent. Because they've learned from the master. From the master. And he doesn't get acknowledged enough, in my opinion.
No, truly. Big credit to the UK sport.
So we spoke about one rivalry with David Haye. Obviously, there's another rivalry. The rivalry we had with Dillian Whyte. He had 2 mega fights with Dillian Whyte. It captivated the world's attention. There was massive fights. The first one was closely contested. A lot of people were saying that maybe it could have went either way, the decision.
Right, let me, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me, again, I'm glad you're sitting here.
I'll be ready, man. I've got lyrics, baby.
And you know what, if this doesn't work, guess what? He's a heavyweight. Guess what I am? A heavyweight. and we got the gloves.
I'm in the ref.
The gloves. Hold me back. The gloves are here. Hold me back. This is the first time. Help me out, man.
Go easy.
He's a heavyweight. So if this can't be sorted out verbally, we glove up and we do it the old-fashioned way, innit, Dean? Yeah? Put them up. Yeah. I like left hooks. I love left hooks, yeah. I know you got a big right. I see you chucking it. Yeah. I think I got a big right.
So listen, so you two, right? You two have had, in the past, in the build-ups, you two have had absolute wars, haven't you?
Do you know what?
Right.
Sorry to cut you. Let's change the wording. I've never had a problem. Me and Don, but I've always respected Don.
But there's been tables fired.
No, but what you don't understand is he's the coach. So as the coach, he's going to back his man, but he's going to do common sense has to prevail. There has to be if he's the fighter, it has to be the winner. So he's got to be the man.
Absolutely.
The older man's going to be the wiser head and try and calm it. Just like even with Dill's the younger, I'm the older, so I can get mad at Sam, but then I will know if Dill gets mad, I'll say no, calm down. You know what I mean? And we try to be. It has to be a sense of reason. I've never had nothing with him. I've always been respectful. He's done a great job.
You have, and I remember
even when
you pulled me to breakfast, remember? And you didn't have to do that.
Remember, I said, I came and spoke to you.
He came, he said, can I have a word? He sat me down, and you know what? Shake me again, because I have seen you in there, but we haven't spoken about it. Because that's remarkable. Because, you know, the problem we've got within the black community, we've lost that thing we used to have where you recognize your elders. This young man here, although he didn't have to do what he did, right? Okay? I had no problem. Because I witnessed what happened on stage with Derek, on the way in the podium, right? He saw me at breakfast. He said, can I have a word, please? I said, certainly. I went and sat with him. I didn't know what it was about. He brought the incident that happened to say, look, I said, wow, remarkable. Now, to all the youth of black background.
It's a good example. It's a good example.
Respect your elders. He pulled me up, the elder, and said, this, I wasn't trying to, can you explain to your boy, my problem isn't with him. He's got
talking it out.
He's even thinking of my boy. He says, he's got a big fight coming, he shouldn't be concentrating on yourself. I said, you know what, thank you, Dean, I will pass it on. And I did pass it on. And that's remarkable, and I respect you, I respect that for that.
I said that to him on the day, but the thing was, maybe, I don't know, it was a throw for what it was. Do you know what it is? At the end of the day, Derek Chisora, I do have a little thing, because there's a few things that have happened, obviously, like I said to you, which have gone on where I didn't think needed to go on. Deal with the fighter, at the same time, I'm always going to have my bros back.
Absolutely.
Me and him had a few issues.
I will always have, regardless.
Derek's back. So all I was saying to him, concentrate on the fight, and then he started doing, I'm like, listen, he is a remarkable fighter. He's had two very close contested fights to do. When him and Deal always sign to fight, that's the best Derek Chisora you're always going to see. If he can get to that kind of level, every time to fight something, he will virtually beat everyone that's in front of him. If he turns up now, he turns up to fight Dylan. Every single time.
I will second that opinion.
Yeah, but what happens is he drops below that bar, because obviously, you know, he knows if he can beat Dylan, he's in with a shot of being right at the top. But I'm saying if he can get to that same kind of level, that same kind of desire and passion for any of these other fights with Parker, it's going to be a hell of a fight. But the thing is, sometimes he doesn't have that mindset. Dill brings out maybe the worst in him or the best in him.
In every era, you study boxing, in every era, there is always two fighters that bring best out of each other. They always do. Epic.
So
even if they fought 10 more times,
it will always be a closely contested fight.
In that case, maybe you can say he's a big fight. He's like a big game fighter.
I wouldn't.
No, that's what he's trying to say. He said, but those two particular individuals, they bring the best out of each other.
When you talk about big fights against Klitschko, that was a big fight.
But it doesn't draw the same.
It's not the same kind of zest.
You don't know the background. You don't know the back. I know the background. When Dills was coming through, in fact, Dylan's, I would say Dylan's third encounter as a top professional was against the
Listen,
Chisora.
I remember. Let me go back even further to about maybe could be like I don't know, 14 years maybe. Do you remember that school in Broadway?
Yeah.
When you used to come down there?
Yeah, but that
we used to be there.
Okay, yeah, that's right. But
that wasn't even inboxing then.
Even before that, the first encounter I met your brother was at the Real Fight Club in the city. Yeah? Spencer Fearon called me. That's the first time I saw Dean Whyte. Spencer Fearon called me, said, I've got this.
The Waterloo one, sorry to cut you.
No, it's in the city, in Old Street.
Okay.
Yeah? Spencer Fearon called me, said, Don, I've got this young lad.
Let's have a look at him.
He's not a boxer, he's a kickboxer, but not to have a look at him, I've got sparring for you guys.
So is that the time when they came down, the legendary story, when they came down here and they had a spar?
They never came.
Let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Typical Arsenal.
Go. I'm getting excited. Go.
Right. So basically, Spencer Fearon called me, said, I've got this young fighter, he's converting from kickboxing to boxing. Yeah. I said, Spence, who is this kid? Because I was allowed to do a research before.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's nothing on him because he hasn't converted to boxing. He's about to make the transition.
Yeah.
So he said, can you come to our gym and spar? I said, okay, cool. Spencer's my boy. Cause you know, he boxed for my club, Spencer Fearon. Okay. Yeah, for Bristol ABC. Yeah, I was a super heavyweight and he was lightweight. Him and Danny Williams, the box for Bristol ABC. Yeah. So me and Spencer go back a long way. Yeah. So when he called me, I thought, okay, cool. So on the way to Old Street, we were based in Finchley Central at the time. Again, having an older head, I said, let me tell you something, Derek. Although Spencer has told me that this kid has not boxed, he's not a boxer, he's a kickboxer, I don't want you to be casual. I want you to go there, and if he gets naughty, put something on him. Yeah? That's a coach's duty. Yeah? Don't go there all casual and get your butt kicked.
Yeah.
I have to put him in that mindset, because that's my mindset.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got there, met Dills, quite rightly. It was very youthful, very, very pleasant, very friendly. Remember, he's about to spar the British champion.
Times have changed.
The British. Yeah, no, that's cool. Times have changed. No. Yeah. Right? If the roles was reversed, I've been doing this thing. Right. Remember, I said this was going to be what's now apparent was your brother's third ever spar as a boxer against the current British champion, which was Derek Chisora. That's the level we came in at.
So what happens?
Hold it, the man.
Hold on, the man.
You know what I mean? Right?
He's teasing me, man.
Yeah,
I want to know, man.
Exactly. You have to be patient. Remember I'm old school. When my dad tells stories, it's almost like he's a come on.
Check it out.
It makes it sweeter. It makes it sweeter. So cut long story short, yeah. So, like I prepped Derek anyway. I'm so glad I prepped him because they sparred straight away. The chemistry was there.
Yeah, it was just from the beginning.
It was fireworks.
From the first spar?
Yeah!
Wow.
It kicked off.
Wow.
And I said to Derek on the way home, I told you, right? He brought it. Because remember, he's sparring the British champion. Yeah.
So he had bollock, Dylan had bollock from the start.
He was born with that.
Born with that, yeah.
Born
from
with
the
that.
get-go.
Yeah. He can fight.
So come with British champion.
Remember the background he's coming from. He's not afraid to fight.
Yeah.
Kickboxers are hardened. I'm a boxing man, out and out. But my trainer was a martial art man who trained me. Yeah? I love boxing. I will always put boxing up there, and I still do. But if you're coming from a background, let me tell this all the fellow boxers, who don't undermine people coming from different disciplines like kickboxing or anything to do with the martial art family. Right? They're not afraid. Fighting is what defeats any boxer. The word fight. Kickboxers, what I find, martial artists, that they're already conditioned mentally. The fight is not a problem, right? So whenever I've trained martial artists to convert them into boxing, and they've all got this toughened, hardened mentality already when they bring it. Then when you bring it to the boxing and fuse it, the result is usually what you see in your brother. Yeah? Right. So they had an epic battle straight away. Then about 4 days later, Spencer called me again. Can we have it again? It was that good. We went back there.
So who got the better of the first spar? Who got the better of?
I'm not here to say who got better. All you need to know it was a competitive spar.
Right.
Is that all right?
Right. No, because think about it, there was a big thing about it.
Excuse me. I said a competitive spar. Do you know what the word competitive means? What's competitive?
You know this goes in sparring stories. What goes in the gym stays in the gym.
Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
This is the gym. We happen to be in a gym. And it's going to stand in. I said, watch my lips. It was a competitive spar.
So basically that means he's not going to tell us.
I just told you. Competitive.
He said it was competitive.
It was competitive. What more do you want to know?
So we're never going to get to the bottom of who got the better of who in the first part.
That's what you would like to know.
I think thousands of millions of people have
How comes if I said to you, if you don't understand.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah? I was happy.
Right, yeah.
The coach back then was happy.
But that's mad then, for someone on their first bar to be competitive with a British champion.
Thank you. So I said to you.
That's a victory in itself.
Of course, it's an achievement. It's an achievement. Because it came in at a very high level. Into the boxing thing. Wow. And this continued, this relationship, like then going back to what you said in Tooting, in James Cook's gym. He invited us to Brixton, and there was a Franklin,
the big guy. I remember the Nigerian guy.
It was Lennox Lewis's sparring partner.
Yes.
So Derek used to go down and spar him. And I remember one particular day, we sparred Franklin. Your brother wasn't sparring Derek that day. He was in that gym, in Tooting. And Dylan turned around to me and said, Don, the day where I can learn how to do, it's hard to hit Derek. How to catch that. He goes, I said, brother, with the style you've got, eventually that will come. And guess what?
I remember, I was there.
Guess what?
I'm sure. I remember.
Guess what?
That the thing we used to watch. That was years ago.
And he not only has he got it, the art of defense. He's now gone beyond that. The things he's doing at the moment. My son, who's also a professional, is a young professional in the sense he's only had 2 fights. He studies boxing like yourself. He brings it. When we have any fights pending, he helps me to do the research. Okay. And from his conclusion, this is from his mouth to my ears. He said, Dad, Dylan Whyte is the most rounded heavyweight. Wait for it. You think I'm going to say Britain in the world? What he does, a lot of people miss. I don't miss it.
No, they do though.
Yeah?
They do. That's
what he does. All your Larry Holmes catch and count with temper. Right? Well, I can't miss it. Like I said, my son is a scholar. I'm also a scholar, but I'm old. It's up to the young, sometimes the younger minds, to ignite my own, right? What he does, what he can do and what he does, he's the most rounded fighter, heavyweight, as we speak, in the world. You might think, what are you
more so than Tyson Fury, because everyone thinks he's the best.
Did you hear what I said? Where does Tyson Fury live?
It's where he lives in the world as well, isn't it?
Right, so when I say in the world, don't ask me, don't pick up one person and say even does he live in this world?
Sorry, let me
say it's a preconception.
I think you're not grasping. This is what you're talking about that some people miss. Forget being my bro Dylan. Just go back, watch the old school guys. Larry Holmes, if you study boxing,
from
heavyweights,
if you study boxing, a lot of people think they're watching boxing.
I rate Dylan.
No, it's nothing to do with weight.
I think that Tyson Fury might have that edge.
It's nothing to do with what? No, it's nothing to do with that.
He's too slippery.
It's still missing the point.
It's like a big
It's a better boxer.
What the man
says you.
Everyone knows this. No,
not everyone. I'm not everyone.
No, watch this. I appreciate Tyson Fury as being a very good.
I can come to that.
I'm not talking about. We're talking about two different things. You could be. There's very good. Just stop interjecting. Just try and listen a little bit. Sorry, bro. What I'm saying is this. There's boxers out there who are technically better than some of the guys at the top of the game. Doesn't mean they're the best in the world. You got to understand. That's what I'm saying. Listen.
I said rounded.
He didn't say he was the best fighter in the world. You just must listen.
Rounded.
You're jumping the gun.
Rounded. Don't miss the word rounded.
So even saying that, there are boxers there who are technically better than some of the guys at the top. Doesn't mean they're the best fighters.
No.
What we're talking about here is a man with a particular set of skills. My man. We got my man.
But that's why we have you guys on the show. You guys are boxing.
I know, but listen, you must try and.
That's why you must listen more.
If you listen more and study, you won't miss none of the tricks. You know what I mean? But what we're talking about is, it's very rare you see. Go back and look at the tapes. Watch any modern guys now. You don't see. You get people like Callum Smith, who's a bad boy fighter, does catching counters. There's a few other guys, just off the head I can't recall, there's a few others. How Deal goes to the body, how he catch encounters, how he draws you in and then fires to the, not the body, I'm talking the corkscrew through the middle.
You can't give away all the secrets.
No, but what he does, it's on tape, what he does.
Yeah, but you're highlighting it to certain Monday, yeah?
No, but what I'm saying, if you just watch it, it's quite weird. Even the other day, down to the things what he was doing, where he was, when he does that thing like that, that's from a lot of older school. Just go back and watch it. That's what I'm saying.
You see the young man.
You don't pay attention to boxing.
I'm a casual boxing fan. I'm not a
casual. Right, the word casual. Thank you. So when I'm not being derogatory when I'm talking to you about it. It so happens that this is what I do for a living. It's my duty, my obligation to know it. And I happen to be quite old, and I've been studying it for a long time, a scholar in that thing, in that sport of boxing. So therefore, my knowledge and my eyes are different to your eyes and the general public. I'm not saying Joe doesn't understand it, but I have a better insight because I live and study this thing. And I've been around when these guys you're talking about, when they were actually having those particular fights. Even, I'm not a hypocrite, even some of the things I missed when I was watching as a young man, it's only of recent times I started to, oh my God, these guys, what they were doing.
What they're actually doing.
Do you understand? Right? And George Foreman is another one. What he could do, Okay. Anyway, let's. We won't go too much into this particular piece.
This is what a double D
He needs to
podcast.
go and do his homework. This guy.
No. You know what it is? The double D podcast is good because you know what it is? It's got you got the eyes from my eyes. Of from
the general public.
From the general public,
yeah.
Which is, if it's all boxing experts, then you have to have an opinion of someone who's just in layman's terms, who's just like just a casual boxing fan.
I appreciate that.
I think saying that, let me try and flip the coin. Then you're a football guy. Anything I get myself involved in, I do homework and I study. I don't follow football as much as you, but I try to educate myself on the stuff. If I'm going to go on a podcast or a talk show, I would do homework based on it accordingly. Doesn't matter what it is. If I'm tying shoelace, put on socks, wherever it is, but I've got to do homework.
Preconceived idea is Tyson Fury is the best boxer on the planet.
It's still
according to you.
No, but yes, it's a preconceived idea.
According to you.
But it's just
no, but that's not what he was
according to you.
No, but
that's not what I'm saying.
I think he is. But that's not what he said.
I'm not here to debate that. I said the most rounded fighter. And that young man over there, if you jump in here for a second and tell them.
No, it's not what he's still changing. You're not. Ask him.
Yeah.
Who's the number one heavyweight in the world right now?
No, wait! You jumped in. Why are you jumping?
Please.
Hold on. Please.
Stop talking. Big up. Yes, please. Who's the one heavyweight in the planet?
No, that's not what he said. Stop shouting, man. Listen to what the man said to you, man. Listen. He said, Dillian is probably the best rounded heavyweight that's out there.
1,000,000%.
So listen, he didn't say best. Listen.
On the IFL TV.
Don't listen, bro.
I'll tell you one thing. If you look at Dillian, and this is a fact. The worst thing we've had, on a training level, we've had rivalry with Dillian. So I've got no reason to big up Dillian.
Yeah.
But in terms of being the most rounded heavyweight, the guy that can box, he can counter punch,
he can jab,
he can jab, he can work on the inside, he can body punch. He's the most rounded heavyweight, fact.
And long.
He's solid 8 out of 10 at everything. At everything. And not like someone like Tyson Fury, he's good at one or two things, he's exceptional at them. And he sticks to them.
And that's something different.
And
that's why
the most rounded, my personal favourite heavyweight is Tyson Fury. The most rounded, didn't it?
So what we're trying to break down, I am a big fan of Tyson Fury. What you've got is, if you look at the table, the tail of the tape, look at the tail of the tape. So you've got Tyson Fury, a lot of people's favourites. I'm not going to argue that, of a lineal champion, dethroned Klitschko and so on. Then you've got Wilder, you've got Joshua. Hold on, one sec, my friend. Then you've got Ruiz and Dillian. They're all in that same thing. I get what you're trying to say, but if you listen, instead of talk half your mouth, like you do, Harley Wilde, listen, the man said rounded. It's about skill set. We're talking about rounded. And what he said. He doesn't mean about the best. So what you got to I put my hands up. No one's calm down. So now what we're going into is Tyson Fury, lineal champ. He's done it all. I'm a big fan of his personally.
I second that opinion.
Obviously, you got Wilder, he's a WBC champ. You got Joshua just been dethroned. You got Ruiz, he's got the belt. those are the type of people who are at the head, and Dylan's in the mix with those bunch. We're just talking about skill set, pound for pound, round for round. We're talking about what he does at the heavyweight. It doesn't mean you're going to be the best, but you're talking about the things he does are quite exceptional, and it's extraordinary for someone from the UK to be a student of the game, following Larry Holmes and the other guys, Lennox, and the other guys who are pioneers from the day. People should do their homework and listen to any young people. Not just listen with your eyes, listen with your ears and your heart, because you have to love it for no.
How do you listen with your eyes? You can't listen with your eyes.
If you think that, yet again, there's a damn fool again. Yeah? Listen, we're going to wrap this up because we got one big old idiot just up and he's not going to talk no sense. Alright? And for that, for you, I mean, he's not going to talk any sense. He's going to interject and he doesn't know much about boxing. And we'll wrap this up with the man, Charles. As always, but this man, now get no ratings. Goodbye.
Listen,
signing out.
Thanks a lot. The podcast right here, we'll wrap it up. The most important thing is that Dylan and Derek Shaw have got respect for each other.
No, definitely.
And both coaches got both respect
when
for each other.
you do them rounds and punch the bloody bells out of each other, you must respect the game.
The great late Muhammad Ali and the great late Joe Frazier, they were biggest rivals, but they loved one another.
Why do I always piss people off? Why do I do that? Why do I get pissed off? Why?
It's your blonde hair, mate. We've had enough of you. Signing out. We're done for another week. Subscribe, share, comment, and tell him to educate yourself. Put it in the comment. Educate yourself. Boom! With your eyes and your ears also. Boom. Thanks very much, guys.